in the studio this morning, I do have Chief Admin for the Patriotic Front Information Desk, who is Mr. Chendela Erasmus Mukondo. Good morning. Welcome to our breakfast show today.
Good morning, Mling. So humbling to be here once again.
It's good to have you today. How's the weather for you?
No, the weather is excellent, especially the last time we were here, it was extremely cold. That was July. And, we had I think, a new wave we had the new wave of COVID. But this time around, I think the weather is really nice. And we're asking God that this miracle may continue.
Absolutely.
Being extended to the rest of the continent, Africa.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, upon seeing that video, what is your immediate reaction?
Our immediate reaction, we are dismayed, and at the same time, we are disappointed, especially that, this unfortunate development, it's not just one-off, because it's emanating from the UPND or our opposition, our main opponent, the United for National Development, the UPND, party functionaries or cadres who seems to be excited with the coming 2021 general elections. And our advice is that let us be above board, and then let us behave as the way we have always behaved as Zambian. But unfortunately, this development is not one of I've said, in the sense that we have seen of late, just some few, is it almost 5 to 6 days ago, we had the leader himself, Wekaindi Chilema, one leader of the United Party for National Development, insulting the head of state. And this, unfortunately, it's not something which is new. And we can get back to Mansa, we can get back to Northern Province, where I was also heard insulting the Patriotic Front, and then also the leadership of the Patriotic Front and the head of state, that these development, it's now going down to his party functionaries. And the one which you are talking about a UPND cadre who just got excited because he has gotten registered and is only age 24. Instead of enjoying democracy, he has gone further to abuse the position of democracy. And such a development, it's uncalled for. For us as Patriot Front, we are asking that the church should come in to condemn that. The interested stockholders, they should also come in, because we need to protect our democracy, especially that it is in infancy. So basically, this is a stakeholder thing. We have to come in and condemn such utterances against the head of state. As you know, the head of state, we should not look at it as an individual, but we must respect the presidency. So for us, we are disappointed with this development, and we know that it has been the culture of the UPND. It has been part of their philosophy that insult maybe it will market them to the people of Zambia, but unfortunately that cannot take them to State House. So basically, the development that happened on the Copper Belt is not one-off. It's not something which is happening in isolation, but it has been triggered because the leadership of the UPND, it has provided that environment for insults. And those insults, they are coming from Wekaindi Chilema and going down the line, who have not at any time come out to condemn such vices, to come out to condemn such type of politics, to come out to condemn such vulgar language. And unfortunate for our friends, we have never heard that they have condemned such. So for us, our appeal is let us sober up as we get to this 2021. And this exercise, the one for voters registration, it's not happening from without, but basically it's a democratic right that we would want to see that it is extended to everyone as long as is of 18. Yes, and above.
Now, knowing that the majority of this country, obviously, are young people,
yes,
the youth, what do you think is the right way for the youth to convey a message without using inappropriate language, especially, that social media is being abused by us, the young people?
It's very difficult to talk direct or to condemn the young people as they are. the way it is, the technology that has come in, the way they can interact with social media itself, and then also the way they can contribute to the debates. If the adults themselves, they are the ones who are triggering such negative trajectory politics. So basically, our position is to appeal to all the youths out there that you should choose people that you are supposed to emulate. You have that democratic right to say that, no, me, I'm choosing this person because he's following the tenets of democracy. So basically, democracy calls for morality. Democracy calls for uprightness. Democracy calls for respect of other human rights. Because it's only in a democracy that you can exercise your rights to talk or expression of what you feel like to the public. So basically, this coming in of technology, the social media, it is helping us as young people to air our views. But airing our views should never be myopic. Airing of our views should not be negative or that of satanism. So basically, we should remember where we're coming from. We have those values that we had as Africans. We had those values of not insulting elder people. We have those values before even we were given this Christianity that we have, these values of Christianity. And Christianity amplifies our traditional values as Africans. So basically, whether you see it from the Zambian point of view, as a youth, you need to follow our Zambian values. Our Zambian values, they are those of love your neighbor. Our Zambian values is that one of, can you love your parents so that you may have a long life? Even our African values, they are still speaking on the same platform. Even when you come to Christianity, it's the same. It's amplifying our values. So basically, if you see this negativity which is coming in, it's unfortunate that it's been picked from, from the film industry, from the unfortunate, maybe the negative point of life. So basically, when you are coming on a political participation, we need people positive, we need the youths who be able to articulate issues, because national governance, it talks about education, it talks about empowering other people through this model of communication, which we have now at our hands, at a click of a trip, this smartphone that we have. So basically, our appeal to our youths is look for the right leadership, in right people, in right parties, in right political parties, and then also remember that Zambia is a Christian nation. And above all, our beacon is that one of peace. So basically, especially for this young man, he's only 24, meaning when the Patriotic Party came into power, he was only maybe 13 years. So basically, he must understand that this is his first time that he may be voting. And it's important that he makes exercise his right of voting in a responsible manner. So we are calling for that responsible manner. And as the Greek talked about, they have talked about the idiots, those who think about themselves, who don't care about others. And that's what we are talking about. We don't want youths who can behave like idiots, but we want responsible citizens. Those responsible citizens who know that they are here to participate so that they can see the nation moving forward. Not the other one, again, those who are tribal, those who are limited in their mind. We don't want such youths. We want youths who are civilized and responsible. So this is our message that we are appealing to our youths out there, that it's time we demonstrated leadership.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, still talking about voting, the Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection is concerned that if the ongoing voter registration exercise is not done properly, majority of voters risk being defranchised. And in a statement, the center also adds that the slow pace at which the exercise is being conducted is worrying. What is causing, the slow pace of voter registration, especially looking at the target that the ECZ, gave out?
We had, from the information that we have gathered at Patriotic Front, that we have discovered that the ECZ had more like allocated the machines you find in Southern Province were more than the ones which are in Lusaka. And then also in Western Province, you find that they allocated more machines there, more than they had allocated maybe on the Copper Belt. So I think there's been also a discrepancy in the way the Electoral Commission was assigned to do this thing. And this could be because of some people who are politically inclined or deliberately who do not value the process of democracy in the country. Otherwise, it was supposed to be done using a proportionality to the population itself. If the people of Lusaka, you know that Lusaka is 3.5 million. There's no way you can give the people of Lusaka fewer machines, fewer resource, allocation of human resource itself. So I think these are some of the challenges that we have already we have appealed to the Electoral Commission, and I think they have been making changes to that. And then the other thing is that also the attitude of our people, especially these who are in towns. It's important that they participated now, not at the end, is it on the 11th hour. So we have also that 11th hour mindset of our people, which is also not working well, because you know we are supposed to have time so that we go and register ourselves, because this democratic right will come and happen again maybe after 10 years or after 5 years. So basically our appeal is to the people, the citizenry itself. Let us register now. Let us not wait for the 11th hour. That's when you see abnormal queues, especially in Lusaka and the Copper Belt and these other areas which are dotted along the line of rail. But basically the main problem that we had, it's that one of the allocation of resources, that is the human resource. We would have wanted, they would have liked that if the Electoral Commission of Zambia had done that issue from the operational point of view in a very professional manner. But otherwise, our concerns, just like the Center for the Jesuits, they are concerned. It's also our concern. But basically, we would want that the ECZ patch up all these problems so that we may meet the targeted 9 million. Otherwise, it won't work well with them. The defranchising shouldn't happen if they fail to meet that target that promised us. Because a lot of stakeholders, and you remember very well, we supported them that maybe if it can happen within 30 days, the better. But looking at what the technology that they have deployed as at now on the field, it's very disappointing, really. We had thought that they were prepared for the task. We had thought that they had prepared enough human resource and technology. But unfortunately, we seem to see like they have a challenge in technology. They have a challenge in the human resource that they have made available to make sure that this exercise is conducted smoothly. So basically for us, we are also worried as a Patriot Front. We seem to be, we are going to, in fact, our strongholds, or the areas that we believe that are strongholds, that is on the Copper Belt, here in Lusaka. If you look at the way they are coming out, it's very disappointing, really. We are very much concerned that if there was going to be any defranchising, it would mean it would be the PF stronghold that will be defranchised. So we are really concerned, and we are on the Electoral Commission that this process should not defranchise anyone, either opposition or ruling.
And also, knowing that we only have about 3 weeks to go before the mobile registration closes, do you think it should be extended?
Well, before we even come to the extension of the mobile registration, I think let us intensify in helping our people out there, especially we have to our area members of parliament as a Patriotic Front. We are asking our members of parliament to go out in their far-flung areas, in all these constituencies, that they may be the catalyst of this change in this remaining three weeks, so that if we can fail, maybe if we can have maybe 7 million registered, then we'll be comfortable. It will mean even if we are having another extension, we can have another 2 weeks, not more than 2 weeks. Because, you know, we have this attitude as Zambians. They will fall back again. They will be, no, they have given us another 30 days. So it will have an effect on the 12th of August. So we need to not also to disadvantage the Electoral Commission of Zambia. But within these 3 weeks, I think if the Electoral Commission can intensify the purchase of the right equipment, and then also the repair works, and then also making sure that there are people who have been assigned to repair these printers immediately. Maybe if it processes 10 or 20, they are engineers. They are able to repair the same machine in time. Otherwise, the 3 weeks that we have, it's enough. It's not. But looking at the number where we stand today, it's less than 3 million. And our target is supposed to be 9 million. So I think there will be need to appeal even to the Electoral Commission to extend the process. Otherwise, we stand to be disadvantaged. We stand to disadvantage a lot of people, especially here in Lusaka, especially that we have the stakeholders who have talked about the allocation of materials. In Lusaka, it has been a poultry, is it 200? The other one we have heard it's almost 400 in southern province. So basically, I think the extension, before we get to that, let us make sure that in all the areas, we avoid the coming on the 11th hour.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Mkondo, for coming through to our breakfast show this morning.
Thank you very much. I'm always humbled to be here.
Okay. All right, so we do continue with our Q Breakfast show. We do have so much more jam-packed for you. Stick around. We'll be back.